Hey guys, we are in Salzburg. We are here for 3 days. We're gonna meet with family, so it's gonna be a vlog style video. We're gonna do a little bit of sightseeing, walking around the city center, but since it's our sixth time in Salzburg, we are not gonna visit the main landmarks at all, so don't rely on this video, please, for sightseeing in Salzburg. But we are gonna go to exciting places in the south of Germany, in Berchtesgadener Land, later, and there we will do a bit more sightseeing. So hopefully it's still gonna be useful for you and will give you some inspiration and ideas on things to do in this part of Germany and this part of Austria as well. It's actually quite easy to get to Salzburg. There is an international airport and there are pretty good connections to go there from London. We had a direct flight with Ryanair and I remember it wasn't even expensive, it was pretty affordable actually. So it's a perfect destination to visit even if you're coming just for a weekend. But I would recommend, if you've never been to Salzburg, stay for around maybe 3 days in Salzburg, because there are just so many landmarks, so many beautiful places to visit, so many tours to take. For example, if you're a fan of sound of music, it was actually filmed around Salzburg and in Salzburg, so there are tours just dedicated to the sound of music, for example. I will leave a link to my blog post I've written on tripskit.com in the comments down below, so you can find more information about the things to do in Salzburg there. We only had about 4 or 5 hours in Salzburg this time, so we decided to take the most of it and walk around the city center, try some really delicious food, and of course spend time in a bakery. Salzburg is really famous for its bakeries. It's also a birthplace of the famous Sacher cake, and you can try it in a bakery called Fürst. Besides the Sacher cake, there are plenty of other cakes, especially if you're not a fan of this chocolatey flavor. For example, I tried something completely different, and they also sell really nice chocolates for takeaway there. They make a perfect souvenir, and they're actually really good. In the evening, we went to a really nice and authentic brewery called Augustiner Bräu. You really need to try it. I think it's definitely one of the best things to do in Salzburg if you like beer. Overnight, we were actually staying in Germany, in the southern part of Bavaria, in a city called Bad Reichenhall, which is a very lovely town, in my opinion, because it's not so big. It has this nice, chill, relaxed vibe, I'd say. And we've been there many times, but to be fair, it was really convenient place to stay and to explore the rest of Bavaria from there. Next day in the morning, we decided to do a little bit of sightseeing. Even though we've been to this area multiple times, I think with Pepe we've been twice or three times, and I have visited my brother many times before, so it's probably my sixth time. I've never actually been to the Eagle's Nest or the Kehlsteinhaus, which was the kind of tea house and the restaurant where Adolf Hitler used to hold meetings with other party members. This place is definitely connected to the dark history of Germany, but it has really beautiful views, and it was interesting to visit from the historical point of view. You can actually hike all the way there and save some money because the tickets for the bus are pretty expensive. We paid, I think, something like 28 euros each, and it also includes using the gold elevator. Hiking would take probably around 2 hours depending on your speed. At least that's what my brother told me, and he did it multiple times. But since I was just 2 weeks post-surgery, we decided to take the bus on the way there and back. Although we did hike a little bit of the route back, so we didn't take the lift, the elevator back. When you get on top, besides the stunning views, you can see the Königssee from here. There is also a restaurant and there is also a cafe. So we haven't visited the restaurant, but my brother has multiple times, and he said it's okay, nothing special, but it's a little bit expensive, and he recommended to try goulash there. Besides that, there is also a small kind of museum where you can read a little bit more about the history of the Eagle's Nest or Kehlsteinhaus. There are also lovely hiking routes up there, so a lot of people take the bus and then continue hiking for about an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. There are different routes and there are many of them. So it's time for us to go back actually, because we are not planning to eat anything, and we saw pretty much everything there is in the Kehlsteinhaus or the Eagle's Nest. And instead of taking the lift downstairs, we decided to walk. I have no idea how long it's going to take. I think probably around 15 to 20 minutes. And we're just going to take it until the bus stop, basically. We're not going to go all the way down, although to be fair, it is a possibility. So my brother told me it might take around an hour and a half if you decide to just walk all the way down to the Kempinski Berchtesgaden, from where the buses depart originally. So it's not too long, but you need to be walking really fast to reach the destination in just an hour and a half. Once we got down, we met with my brother and his family, and we decided to visit the Lake Thumsee, which is located really close to Bad Reichenhall. It has a lovely beach area. It was a nice hot day with, I think it was 28 degrees, and it was definitely enjoyable to be there. You can actually swim in the lake, but it is a little bit cold. I think the water temperature is around 16 degrees, but it is supposed to get, I think, warmer towards the end of summer, if the weather obviously stays as hot and nice. We decided to take a hiking route all the way back to the center of Bad Reichenhall, and it took us around 45 to 50 minutes. It was lovely. It went through a forest.
The big stone of that.
The biggest. It was my brother's birthday, so we went to a restaurant afterwards and had a really lovely meal. The restaurant was actually just across the border in Austria. I think it was called Lashinsky Hof, but I'm not too sure. On our last day in this area, we took the train all the way to Bischofswiesen, where my brother is based. We met with him and drove all the way to Ramsau by Berchtesgaden, which is a lovely town from where you can take a lot of hiking routes. And we saw this beautiful photogenic cows on the way, so we couldn't resist and stopped for a couple of pictures. The most famous hiking route that departs from Ramsau is the Zauberwald route, or the Magic Forest route. It leads all the way to the lake called Hintersee. I think it takes around 45 to 50 minutes depending on the speed with which you walk to reach the lake. and on the way back it was even faster, I think. I think there are more routes. There are actually a multitude of routes, so it's best to buy one of the hiking apps or maybe buy a map if you want to take a longer route. Another idea is just to take a route all around the lake, Hintersee. The lake is actually very, very beautiful, but it's extremely cold. So the water temperature was 11 degrees. It was beginning of
in Spain in
June.
winter?
When we went there, nice one.
I think it was way colder than the water in Spain in winter, in Mallorca when we went there, because Pepe managed to swim there, and here he almost couldn't. It was really cold because the snow melts, and that's why the water is so cold. Later we just had a lunch with the family and took a train to Vienna. In Vienna we didn't feel much because we were basically working remotely. We stayed in a hotel called the Student Hotel, and no, it's not only for students, but it was an amazing hotel for working remotely. Honestly, it has a really high-speed internet connection, has a desk in the room and a lot of kind of working areas in the lobby area, and even a proper co-working space. Say hi.
Hi, me and my braces.
We only had a few evenings after work because of the time difference. We used to finish working at around 6:30, so they didn't leave us that much time to explore the city. But again, we've been to Vienna multiple times. Pepe has been, I think, once, and I've been at least 3 times before, so we weren't doing a lot of sightseeing. And I won't even mention Vienna in the titles of this video because it would definitely be a little bit misleading, because we didn't do much sightseeing at all. But I hope you enjoyed this video anyways, and it gave you some ideas about the best things to do in this area, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!